Rick Saratella joining us from the NFL Draft Bible to get us set for draft coming up in the next 17 days. All right, let's turn to running back. Quarterback's typically the position where you say, okay, we're going to find out 5 or 10 years from now. We're going to compare these guys and see where they stand versus what we thought way back during the draft. But we could probably do the same going forward. We could have a generational type group of running backs here with Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and of course the guy that's expected to go first amongst the running backs would be Leonard Fournette. McCaffrey's such a wild card compared to the other two, I think, because of the skill set. People are just fascinated as to whether it's going to transition, whether he's going to be one of those all-purpose guys that can do everything and just kill a defense, or it's just not going to quite translate, where the other two guys are just beasts. Although I think Fournette's locked a little bit more into the traditional tailback position, and Cook seems to be a little bit more versatile. Just your thoughts about those three starting out.
Yeah, I think Fournette is a guy, he could go as high as #1 overall, or he could maybe slide into the bottom half of the top 10. But I do think he is, without a doubt, the biggest upside with any of these running backs. And if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't really have a solution at the quarterback position. I know Chris Ivory's there. He tends to wear down in second halves. TJ Yeldon, yeah, he's a good runner. But Tom Coughlin wasn't brought in there to have patience. He's looking to turn this team into a contender. Young nucleus there. Hey, if you could add a Leonard Fournette and then maybe look to upgrade that quarterback, alleviate some of that pressure, I definitely think Fournette is coming off the board first. And then Dalvin Cook, here's a guy I spoke to at the Combine, said, hey, I'm without a doubt the best running back in this draft class, playing for Jimbo Fisher. I've done a little bit of everything, catching the ball out of the backfield, staying in there on third down and pass protection. So I think, the Eagles have shown a lot of interest in him. They met with him at the Combine. They had a couple scouts there at his pro day. I think they had brought him in for a private workout. So Dalvin Cook is gaining steam, number 16 to the Eagles. And you mentioned McCaffrey in the wild card. You see him as high as number 8 to Carolina, maybe number 20 right there to the Denver Broncos as a kind of slot receiver, change of direction type back. And people feel if McCaffrey was a wideout in this draft class, he might be the number 3 wide receiver because they love his hands. But I'll tell you what, I think that Curtis Samuel is a guy that's flying under the radar, 4.3 speed, very similar skill set to McCaffrey. And a lot of people are writing him off and just assuming he's a wide receiver. I think he averaged about 7 or 8 yards per carry for his career for the Buckeyes there. So I wouldn't write off Curtis Samuel. If you told me he would wind up being the best running back in this year's draft, I wouldn't be surprised. And Alvin Kamara, also very similar skill set to those guys. And then the dark horse, who I really like, and Donta Foreman, 245-pound between the tackles runner, came out at his pro day workout, ran a 4.44 and a 4.45, and really turned some heads there. So we talked about the quarterbacks, high volume in the top 50 or 60 picks. I think with the running backs too, we're going to see 3 running backs in the first round at least, and that hasn't happened in at least 5 years, I believe. And I could see another 3 running backs go there in the second round.
Yeah, with Samuel, in terms of hype, he ran the 4.31 at the Combine, just the next guy after John Ross running the 4.22 that everybody was tweeting about and going crazy, and it got kind of lost. But for guys like you didn't miss it. No question about that.